Hi, I'm Sam Bakewell.
And I'm Verity Herbs. Welcome to Ancient Astrology with Sam and Verity. Today's episode 6, and we will be discussing Venus. Venus is known in Roman mythology as Venus, the goddess of love, and in Greek mythology as Aphrodite, the goddess of love.
Okay, so we've gone straight to the screen today, and we'll talk about the rulership. Taurus and Libra is what Venus rules, and it's exalted in Pisces. And Venus is in detriment in Scorpio and Aries, and in fall in Virgo. And I think it's a pretty common symbol as well for our listeners.
Yes, yep, circle with the plus sign under it. So Venus is the lesser benefic, and it's never far away from the sun. It's always, is it 48 degrees?
That's right. So, at its greatest elongation, it's 48 degrees. So Venus rules our world of love and all our desires.
Yeah, she's fun, sexuality, merriment, bright and colourful.
Yeah, so she loves colours, not what I'm wearing today. Black.
Sort of like flowers and things like that come to mind when I think of Venus.
Yeah,
honey.
Pinks and purples and, lots of colours.
Sweet things.
She represents pleasure, love, lust. Not everybody is always going to experience love. Sometimes it will be lust.
Very true.
She's music, dance, fun and merriment, the theatre.
Yep. So having fun, so like celebrations, so like weddings is a nice Venus event.
Yeah.
Get-togethers. Yeah, going to like a show with friends, a concert. That would have like the music, the fun, the excitement, getting ready, getting dressed up.
Yeah, beauty, art and food, but it's certain types of food, generally speaking. It's like colourful fruit and chocolates and sweet food, cakes and things like that.
Would it be like more refined things as well? Because I'm thinking how there's the art, it's kind of like refined. There's that Libra sort of
refined. That word refined just comes to my mind as dignity. So it would depend on the dignity of Venus in your chart, whether that would be refined.
So like if things would taste nice, or
because not everybody has the same taste of food.
True.
So we have the moon that rules food, and we have Venus that rules food, but we have Venus that rules more sort of sweet food and certain types of fruit. And Vedi's Phalan says olives as well, which it's funny, I always thought olives was Mercury ruled, so that's a bit of a question mark in my mind.
Okay, interesting.
Perfume.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so it's like not everybody likes everybody's perfume.
Yeah, certain
There's
smells.
a reason for that.
Some people love to spray a lot of perfume on. Other people can't stand it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so with makeup and obviously
jewelry,
hairstyles, hairdressing.
Yeah.
How you like to express yourself and present yourself to the outer world in that way.
Jewelry. And so, during my Venus years, I had 2 consecutive Venus years, and the first Venus year I started making jewelry, my gemstone jewelry.
Yes.
So it rules jewelry. So it depends on what type of jewelry you like too, will be what sign Venus is in. So mine is in Virgo, so Venus in Virgo. So
makes a lot of sense.
Gemstone,
it's very like precise. Yes, and it's it's beautiful.
Do we say chocolates? Roses?
I think so, roses, nice.
Roses or flowers generally, really.
And it's kind of like all the senses, and even if you think about like something like a rose, it's the color, it's what it looks like, it's the smell of it, it's a lot of your senses coming and being pleasured and pleasant for those.
Exactly. Just fun and social, just enjoying yourself, partying, that kind of thing. Is domestic as well. So the moon is also domestic, so that's also cleanliness and your domestic duties, but so is Venus. So if one is debilitated, you might have the other which is, angular.
And could it be
shows somebody
expressed?
that's likes
Yeah.
a clean house.
Yeah. Could it be expressed like what color paint you choose or what sort of cushions you like? Do you
Exactly.
like blankets and
That's right.
candles? And photos
exactly.
up on
all
the
that
walls.
is Venus,
Mm.
a Venetian
Yeah, kind of.
Venetian qualities.
Yeah, it's like the design, isn't it, of the house? So like
Yeah.
interior design. It can be like cheerful, friendly people as well.
That's right, exactly. And generosity. So generous planets are Jupiter and the Sun. We mentioned not long ago with the Sun being a generous planet, but also, you might have a debilitated Sun, but then you might have an angular or a strong Jupiter or Venus, that gives you that generosity. So we might just go to a chart and
yeah, because
Venus in Leo.
Yeah, sure. Because I guess, that would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did show you this chart already during the Sun episode, actually.
It's a great chart for those. Yeah.
But, she's a very Venus-orientated person. She's the lord of her ascendant is Venus, plus it is the moon. And she also has Saturn in the first house. So she does have 3 planets that play a big part in her personality. But at this point, we're just looking at Venus and the houses that Venus rules, which is the 6th house. By exaltation, the 11th house also, and it's located in the 4th house, of course. So there's
kind of very like major parts of someone's life to have Venus ruling, isn't it? You've got like your work, your friends, your home, and yourself.
Yeah.
Quite,
so she's located in a home. So where would the most important place for her to be? Is her home. Exactly. But she's also has got the Leo quality. Venus people like to have fun. They're cheerful. They're the type of person that you would stand next to at the supermarket and they'll smile at
have
you.
Have a good chat or smile and they'd help you.
Yeah. So the 6th house is also important to her. So we haven't gone through the houses yet. So, but we're taking those who are intermediate or advanced, into the next level. But we could say, pets, work.
Oh yes,
it's important to her, and also her friends. And because this is also work, I would generally put these 2 as work colleagues. So she has work colleagues in her home. She can entertain. She likes entertaining them at home.
Make friends with people you work with or work with your friends.
Exactly.
Take your friends on.
So it shifts with this bit of information, different sentences, representing her life.
And I guess it's interesting how we were kind of touching on it before, that just as everybody, has their preferences, how they, how they dress, what, do they wear makeup? How do they do their hair? What do they like? That's kind of the Venus, what it sort of represents. It's interesting. So like if someone has a chart like this, would it be mainly Leo, giving that bold Leo flavor to how they express themselves, how they dress, how they look,
exactly,
what they like.
So you expect that she'd like to look. I mean, Venus people generally want to look nice anyway, so no matter what their sign is in, they can dress well when they have to.
It's important to them.
And with the Leo trait, you'll definitely sense that there would be a the hair,
big hair.
the hair, big hair, exactly.
Or they care about their hair, they get it done, or
So we do have Saturn in the first, so that's the color black. We've got the pinks and the other colors, and you've got the Leo as in yellow and gold. So there's a few different colors that she probably likes to wear.
That's a really good point. That could be a nice way to figure out like a gift to buy someone to look at their Venus, and you could be like, oh, what colors would they like?
Exactly. I buy
what would they like to buy?
Through people's
what
charts.
Would they like to receive? Do they like candles? Do they like flowers? Do they like practical things?
Exactly. So we have Libra and Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, and Libra is the masculine, and they're more about relationships and peace and harmony, and Taurus is the feminine sign of what Venus rules.
So would that be more like receiving like the pleasures, or like Taurus is quite linked to the senses, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like taste, comfort, what they like.
Yeah, and they're a fixed sign, you know, so they like
what they like.
Yeah, exactly. And they're pretty stable.
Yes.
So Venus rules young women and sisters, and so when I'm predicting for people and I'm looking at their monthly predictions or their yearly, whatever I'm doing for them, whatever prediction they ask for, if there was a conjunction between their Lord, you know, it's telling me that they're often with a younger person, you know, a younger female. So let me share the screen with a chart. Okay, so we've seen this chart also. I think when we did the Saturn, and so the Lord of the ascendant would be Saturn and Mars, the exalted Lord of Capricorn, and the ruler of Capricorn. So we have a very tight conjunction here, you know, 2 degrees, and this woman works with a lot of younger people, and so she's often with somebody that's younger. So, you know, if you were predicting a month for her and she just happened to be in that month, it would be quite simple to say, you know, like she gets along with younger women. There is this, you know, you're working with somebody who is younger, and then you could tell her what that person is doing.
Oh, that's so interesting. Wow. And would it be mainly sort of 10th house relationships, so work and more professional? Or
it would be also where that Venus rules.
Would she kind of be like the mother figure?
Well, she's definitely the leader because she's Saturnian. I mean, she's got that Venus trait as well. So, you know, she's got that very friendly exterior. You know, she's a person of authority. And Venus rules the 5th house, so that would be her children. And in fun social, going out socially, you know, it's often will be with somebody who is younger than her. And it rules the 3rd house, so it could also be a sibling, as in the exaltation. So, yeah, so it's also 3rd house, traveling to see her daughter or one of her children. Working and short travel to work, you know. We have got other charts too, but parts of the body is the pancreas, the throat, ovaries, the skin, reproduction and kidneys, generally female organs by Venus.
Fascinating. And sort of some of those have great uses that are connected to like what Venus represents. Like throat is like your voice, so singing as well.
Singing is ruled by Venus as well. You know, which I found when I first started learning astrology, I thought that was really weird, because why wouldn't it be Mercury? You know?
Right, because it's it's a way to express yourself, isn't it? But I guess it's more that kind of that musical and the beauty of it as well.
The arts.
And I think it's just a very interesting sort of thing. Same with ovaries. That's to do with, you know, producing children and, you know, that kind of thing.
And if you had a problematic Venus, let's share this one with the Capricorn. So we have, I haven't shown you this one, no. So this is a Libra rising. We are looking at Venus and Saturn as the lords of the ascendant, but we're just concentrating firstly on Venus, and Venus is in Capricorn. So in the hierarchy system, it's the 3rd, which is in its triplicity, so it has got some dignity, and it rules by exaltation, the 6th house, the 8th house, and it's located in the 4th house. So we haven't even looked at any aspects or anything.
Mhm.
So we have a Saturnian type of Venus.
Yeah.
So this lady is an artist.
Oh, wow.
And she creates a lot of her pieces in a home.
Mhm.
So she works from home. She also has worked as an artist, and you could pick up all the 6th house things like pets. So she loves her pets. Pets really important to her, and you probably would even say work colleagues. So she's quite friendly with her work colleagues.
And would it be like, because Saturn and Mars are there, would it be kind of like she loves her pets, but maybe they're a lot of work for her, or would that kind of play out that way?
Well,
like what she
with the Saturn, yes, you're
Yeah.
probably right.
So what she loves is also kind of connected to work for her.
It's
So
hard work,
yeah.
exactly.
So if
And
she
this is
paints
a
it-
nocturnal chart, so
Yeah, so
Saturn is her
Right.
her malefic of set
Yeah.
planet.
And so she loves to paint, and then it
Yeah.
becomes work. Like it's a So
Yeah.
it's something she has to be sort of more strict on herself about and make it work, not
Yeah.
just
And they do
something
take a lot
fun
of
to
time.
enjoy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So there is that element of I must do
Yes.
this. I'm commissioned to do
Yeah,
this piece.
sometimes you don't want to. You don't feel like it, but you have to show up
Yeah.
anyway and do it because you've
And
got
it's
that part of
interesting,
it.
she's also worked in with making jams and chutneys and things like that once
Lovely.
upon a time, many years ago.
Yep.
So, that's a lot of work.
It
They're
is.
massive pots she was
Yes,
doing. They're
it's
all
a
hot,
lot.
boiling,
Yes.
gluggy and
Yep.
yeah.
It's a lot of work that goes into that, but it's to make something sweet from fruit, which is
She's also worked in an art store.
Amazing.
So she has that Venus has played a big part in her life.
Yeah.
She is immaculately dressed when she has to, when she needs to, but she loves lounging around as well with that Saturn. It's not a perfect Venus. But when she needs to dress, she dresses in a Venus Saturn type of dress sense. It's not a tailored, it is quite loose and comfortable, and
but it looks
but it's like just one color and one color bottom, so there is that kind of structure, a little bit of structure there.
And would that mean that kind of like Venusian sort of way of of in some signs it's getting dressed up, that kind of thing, it's almost like that is not a chore, but that in its way is a bit Saturnian for her, like I better go get dressed up, not like I enjoy.
You're probably right.
So even that is kind of a way of work for her to better.
There's still that effort.
I better make the effort, and because some people it's like that, it's they'd rather just always be comfortable and not have to get all dressed up sometimes.
And I suppose because a lot of us don't have great Venuses. So there's a lot of us that feel that way, rather just
definitely.
Be comfy.
Better
so she also has Venus ruling the 8th house, so she's very supportive towards her husband's finance. So that's something that works really well for her.
Actually, that's a good point. Some people I've heard say Venus connected to money. So that's interesting, because I think we were saying Jupiter.
No, I don't like that very much at all. I definitely do not believe in that. That comes from the Aries ruling the 1st house and Taurus ruling the 2nd house.
Right, that's where that's
concept.
come from.
I'm not one for believing in
so
that.
Yours is more because it's the 8th house, which is the house of like the partner's money.
Finance, which when we get to which we're not far from starting the houses, and we'll get, and that will be a few episodes, because we'll be looking at the houses, and we'll be looking at derived houses as well, the joys, there's different house systems. So basically we can say the 8th house for
this
by partner's money. That's probably the easiest thing and less offensive thing that we could say.
And so for this one it would be positive because it's a Venus ruled.
It is.
That's nice.
All right, so I'm sure we're going to miss quite a lot as we sort of ramble about Venus, and but it's about merriment and just having fun, and about our sexuality, all the things that we've just mentioned, your romance. Yeah, and Jupiter rules music also. So you have both Jupiter and Venus, and sometimes, it's a bit tricky.
They overlap sometimes.
Yeah, occasionally I like to be a little bit clever and tell the client, especially at the early days, what type of music they like to listen to.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
But you've also got to take into account Venus. So some like during certain years or months, they're going to be more influenced by Jupiter.
Yes.
And that type of music, and then Venus.
I know someone, Venus and Aries, and they really like upbeat sort of rock.
I was just going to say rock.
It's like very rocky. Whereas I have a few Aries placements, but I prefer more kind of like relaxed sort of electronic music. I have a different Venus. My Venus isn't in Aries. So it's interesting how it does impact you in those ways. And I can appreciate the energetic pop rock music, but it's not my favorite. Whereas they've got Venus, Aries, and it is
Jupiter. You kind of bit more open to a lot more music, but depending on the sign,
like expansive.
Like if you were Jupiter in a fixed sign, like in Leo, let's say, well, then you're going to just like what you like, and it could be like opera or something loud.
And so, like, if Venus is love and attraction, so is that kind of like what you would look at to see what you might be attracted to in a partner, or like what you attract?
There's quite a lot in a relationship. You're looking at the 7th house. For women, it's the sun. You're also looking at, Venus. For men, you're looking at the 7th house. You're looking at the moon, and you're looking at Venus. So there's a lot more. There's a lot. I mean, that is a whole unit, on learning relationships. So I probably wouldn't want to go that far into that.
But just it's part of it.
Just show how you love.
Oh, that's nice. So it could be like
you might
compliments,
but your Venus is in Gemini and mine's in Virgo. So we both like to talk about how we feel about things, and we want to hear them say I love you.
With that the love languages, wouldn't it? Would be like
but it's
words
different.
of affirmation.
Yours is masculine, mine's feminine. So mine's in fall, and so that's going to so I find like my husband and I, we can ignore our romantic side. We just sort of get on with things and
help each other, maybe like that Venus Virgo.
It's a bit like, I vacuumed the floor, haven't I shown you how I
it's the acts of service, isn't it? Yes. But it definitely, I think, is words as well. My daughter has Venus in Virgo, and like she's only little, but she loves to compliment. It's so sweet. It's not, and I like it too because I've got Venus in Gemini.
It's a vocabulary.
It's very nice.
All right, so we've flitted a little bit through Venus. Hope you enjoyed our episode 6, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye for now.